Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel if you're not new. My name is Sunny and today's reading is going to be about what does your pet want to tell you. I've already done a few of these before and I think they're pretty cute. So I thought I might do another one. It's been a while. So there's going to be three piles. Pile number three. Pile number one starting on the left, pile number two in the middle, pile number three is in the right side. So if you need more time, go ahead and stop the video and take a moment to kind of think about the cards and which one you're attracted to or piles you were attracted to, and I'll see you in the pile of your selection. So I will start with one and I will give you a close-up first. So pile number one. Ooh, okay, so we have the Sun card reversed. Oops, sorry. And the Death card upright. So, pile one, what does your pet want to tell you? I think your pet is kind of noticing a lot of changes going around you. Like, overall, I suddenly feel like I keep changing my tone of voice. I apologize. my throat and my lungs get tired, so I tend to get softer as they go and speak. So with the with the first card, the Sun card, usually this is someone that's bright if it's upright, and they're kind of looking at you like maybe you're not as bright as you usually are, to put it simply. I think that they might have seen a lot of changes going around you. They're seeing a lot of, maybe it's necessary changes, but I think that these changes have affected your personality somewhat, and they think that the usual bright disposition that you show them, at least, the interaction you decide to have with others may be very different, but at least the ones that you have with your pet tend to be a little bit more positive. They tend to be very bright and positive and loving, just very warm, and a warm, loving energy. And that's not really you in this moment. That's not usually. Maybe you're a little bit cold, maybe you're a little bit distant, maybe you're a little icy. I can't help but think that you're a little bit icy because, yes, this is the Sun card, but I'm also looking at the Death card upright. I just associate death. Death is cold, right? So maybe you're just a little icy with them, giving them a cold shoulder because maybe you're busy or just going through a lot of turmoil, a lot of changes, and it's changing your personality a bit, so you might be a little icy in them. Yeah, I also think that you're a little serious. The reason I say that is because the Sun card is also reversed. Upright, this would be like a very happy, uplifting, childish, fun, mischievous energy, a playful energy. Not so much mischievous, just very playful, youthful, fun, engaging. And I don't think that's quite you right now. They kind of notice the difference in personality. Maybe you're going through a lot of physical changes, or outside sources are basically making you kind of focus and too much on the outside rather than inside, or not so much focusing on them. They're kind of noticing that you're just not being you. I think of like the Snickers when you're hungry. I wanted to say hangry. You're a little hungry, you're a little angry, and so therefore you are hangry, and you're not really you when you're hungry. So you grab Snickers, right? So this is what I feel with this file. I think that you're not telling you that you need a Snickers or that you need to, get some food, but I'm just saying it shows your personality is showing that the changes are affecting how you interact with them, and they're kind of feeling it. They're feeling the iciness. They're feeling the seriousness. There's so much. You're very serious, I think, and I think that maybe you don't get to control that. It's not. You don't purposely try to be serious with them, maybe, but I think that you're definitely kind of like slowing down the rhythm with them. You're kind of slowing down with how you really treat them, and you're not as optimistic. There's just, your light's dim. I feel that maybe you're like possibly maybe lethargic, possibly just down in the dumps, or very serious, or just not in the mood to play, like no playtime. That's what I feel, like no playtime with, the owner. I think that your life force is a little kind of low. You need to recharge your batteries possibly, because there's a lot of changes going on that the death card has brought to you, and I think that it's taking a toll maybe on your body and physically, and I think that your pet notices, and they'd like, I feel that your pet would like to kind of have this disposition end pretty soon, because they would like you to be a little bit more cheerful again. Play with your inner child, be happy. You see how this child's riding a horse. Maybe you could possibly have a horse. Eye on it. Look at the white horse. I just realized both cards, and I totally spaced out, both cards have a white horse. So you could either have a white animal of any breed, but I think that even if you have like a small breed, I think it's like a larger. So like, let's say if you have a mouse, you have a big fat white mouse compared to maybe someone else's mouse, or if you have other mice next to them, it's the biggest, fattest one, big one. Or if it's a white cat, a big fat white cat, or a big dog. I think, I can't help but think it's like a dog, or specifically a horse. Of course, horse is number one option here, but I definitely think it's a large breed. That's a white breed. Very like statuesque, I feel. Just very, maybe like, I mean, Dalmatian's kind of out there in the sense of the colors, because this is full on white, but it could be a Dalmatian, or it could be a Pyrenees. What's another white large, Akira? No, they still have some color in them, but you get the gist of it. Very large breeds, I feel, for this pile. A white horse, a white steed. I'm very bad, maybe it's a Mustang. Very bad with horse breeds. But I definitely think it's a large breed. And even if it's a cat, I think it's a big, very little cat. I think that your cat misses you a bit, and they miss maybe like going on walks with you, just being, I just laugh because you go from inner child, right? Inner child here. A little child, let me put it here. Little child that's like on top of his horse, being giddy, laughing and playing, to a very serious death card, which is a knight. A knight is the writer, basically, a very serious knight. So I think overall, you went from having this fun disposition to suddenly serious, and because of all these changes, you're like, no, I gotta cut the time of playtime. I have to be serious. I have to get down to the nitty gritty. I have these things to worry about first, and maybe later on there's playtime. But overall, your disposition's changed a lot with your pet, and they'd like you to know that. They'd like you to know that they miss this energy. They miss you being happy, warm, playful, giddy, and just running around with them. I think that you definitely kind of just I feel like you mess around with them a lot, but maybe at this moment that's not you. You're not encompassing that energy, so they miss that. I think that maybe if you kind of let them know that maybe if you have things to do right now at this moment, that your focus isn't on them right now, but it will be eventually. Kind of just make some time for them, or let them know that you're still playful. Let them know that you're still kind of there. Just, you have to work with them, but you have to talk to them and communicate them in the way that you can communicate and they'll understand, because they're kind of getting a little, I think they're getting a little butt hurt. They're a little butt hurt because you haven't been the same for a bit. And that's okay. Sometimes we have highs and lows, or we kind of have more time with our pets, and other times we're like super busy and we can't focus on them, which is okay. So I really hope that helped pile one. Please select a different pile if you were attracted to that pile. There could be a message there for you. Otherwise, we'll see you soon. Oh, and if you have like gerbils and snakes too, I didn't say that, but they could be white, like albino. I just think like maybe you have like albino animals. But yeah, I really hope that helped pile number one. I'm gonna start with pile number two. So thank you all for listening, and I'll see you soon. So have a good day. So I will start with pile number two, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you a close-up of the cards. Pile two. So pile number two. Ouch. We have the Seven of Cups upright. And then we have, the Five of Pentacles reversed. So, oh no, I still knew it was reversed. Sorry, I messed up. So, pile number two. What does your pet want to tell you? It's a very interesting dynamic. First and foremost, when you have the Seven of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, like just the direction, just looking at the illustration itself. Here there's like a man, or yeah, it looks like a man, but it could be a female too, but you get the gist of having someone, an individual, looking at these cups and all the possibilities that these cups can bring, and then all of a sudden coming to the Five of Pentacles and looking at like people walking away. But of course it's reversed. So I think that you found treasure, or you have a lot of maybe you have like your finances are good and they're noticing. It's a funny thing to say because I think your pet is super giddy. Not how do I say, not giddy, but content. They're very content with. I feel that you've been buying them extra snacks and extra goodies, or like higher quality food, or having maybe more nourishing food, or possibly also like you've been more hands-on with them and spoiling them, to put it simply. Like the Seven of Cups is someone who has all these endless possibilities, but then you have the Five of Pentacles, and this is money. So I imagine myself that you are in a better financial standpoint, at least with them. And I think that you're spoiling them, and they're noticing, and they're very happy because they have more items to snack on, or more toys to be playing with, more higher quantities of food possibly, or higher quality of food, or spending more time with you, and having like all these things basically allow them to play with you and interact with you and spend time with you, and they're super excited of all the possibilities that you brought to the table because you've been earning a little bit extra. So it's a cute picture also, but well, how could I say, with the Five of Pentacles reverse, I think that you're no longer in like a, going back to the previous, so like I know I said this, right, but I feel that somehow in a not so long ago time frame, you might have had to limit the quantity of time and effort and money and food you've been spending on your pets, right? Because you're possibly having you were short on cash, or maybe you had limited funds because you weren't doing that great at work. You just didn't have enough money for whatever reason that you might have had saved, but you had to inconvenience yourself out of some unnoticed, like not unnoticed, but like unforeseen expenses, and you kind of had to cut your losses and basically like do your best with what you had. And they're noticing a big change in that. I think they're super content, and that's what's funny. Like I know I wanted to start off with that story first, but let me just say the brightness of it, the best of it, because this next part is like, so maybe that's what you were like, you're a little like, maybe you're poor on your funds, and that's totally okay. Like you were just kind of there working with the best of you that you could with your finances. You're cutting your losses, but overall, since it's reversed, I feel that you're recovering from that, and you're kind of barely getting the hang of being okay or feeling okay with yourself spending that cash. And I think maybe they're noticing that that's the first thing. I think you're tippy toeing on like being okay with spending extra on yourself and your pets, for example, and you're tippy toeing by starting with your pets first because you feel that's a safer choice. It's a necessary practicality because you need to feed them, you need to care for them, provide them, services like grooming or vet care or dental care or stuff like that. And I think that you can afford these things now a little bit better than you were before. And you feel okay with that. You feel okay spending that because you feel, oh, this is a necessary expense. But I feel that you're kind of treading on these waters of, okay, I think I'm pretty balanced. I'm pretty stable. I don't feel that I'm running low on cash. I feel that I can afford these things, therefore I feel okay to spoil my pets. And I think they're really enjoying that. They're enjoying that those fruitful assets of yours. And they're very happy. Like, look at this. Like, if I had to describe the expression of your pet or pets, they would definitely be this one, like, wow. If it's like, I think that for some reason, I think of cats in here. I don't know why, I think most of this pile is cats. The reason why I say that is because every time I think about cats, I think of like them being inside a box, and I think of a box is like, oh, imagine a cup. They like to hide in like boxes, and I could imagine you spending like a super lush amount of, like, let's say you want to buy what are they called, where they scratch the scratchers, basically to work their nails and stuff. If you were to buy one of those, or the like an outside garden cat house where they I forgot what they have names and I forget, but you get the picture of what I'm trying to illuminate, where it's a fenced area where they get to play for a bit and then you bring them inside. You might have purchased like those kinds of more luscious expensive items, and then all of a sudden all they care about really is the box. It's like, imagine all that money spent for them to be playing in boxes. And I feel that that's what they're doing. I feel that they probably go inside these boxes to play. Like, there's like seven of these. They're like, wow, look at all these boxes. And they kind of like sit in them and play with it. That's what I feel. And then I just feel that they're having a great time. I think that it gives a strong, I don't know why I think of strong cat or energy. If they're not a cat, I think that for most, I don't know why I think of small breeds. I think you have small breeds, but they're very spoiled breeds. They're spoiled with many things, and it shows. I think that for this pile, there's a mix of colors. Like you could have maybe like a calico cat, or I keep wanting to say cats. Or if you have like gerbils, it's like, or rodents, it's like brown, black, white, these neutral colors. Or if you have snakes, it could be like, oh man, I forgot the names. I used to be so good at this because it's up my alley, right? It's things I studied. But those breed, like the common breed of snake. Maybe, I don't want to say a garden snake, because garden snakes are usually black, but that could be a garden snake. But I think it's the kind of snakes that are like brown gray with like black spots, for example. Or if you have rats, they're like gray or just muddy colors, just mud style of colors, just a mix. Or you could have, let's say, if it's not that, birds. I didn't mention birds. I could also think of it. Birds are a great possibility for this too. Birds have like cages and stuff, and they have a bunch of little accessories that they'd like to play with. So I think that even if you have birds, you would have possibly multiple. I don't think this pile specifically has one pet. I think this pile has several pets. This is 7 and this is 5. I don't think you have less than even two. I think you have upwards of two animals, and I think it shows in your finances that you can afford these pets, that you can maintain the maintenance of these pets. And I think it's good for you. I think that's what they've been seeing. They've been seeing your finances grow, and they get to enjoy that fruit of labor of yours. And I think you're super happy. You're like, well, if someone had to enjoy that, I'm glad it's my pets, because they've given me a lot of love and affection with the cups. And I'm happy to waste that monetary pentacle energy on them. So I definitely think that this is like, wow, pets. And then you're like, sure, here, money for you. Like, let me give you these things. Let me give you my coins and put them in those cups, because you've been such a sweetheart. And I think that it shows that you really love and care for these pets. So I think it's really sweet of you to really care about your pets. Maybe you weren't always that stable. Maybe you didn't have that environment, but you do have that now. It's a lovely, lovely change. It's a welcome change. And they're very happy for you, and you're happy. And I think it's very earthy, very, very earthy energy here. So I'm very happy that you guys nurture each other back and forth. There's a give and take in that sense. But yeah, they're super excited with all the things that you've been getting them. So that's what they think about you at this moment, or they want to tell you that they're super happy that, you know, they get to have more things. So thank you very much, all of you, for listening. If there was another pile that you were attracted to, there could be a message there for you, and I'll see you there. Otherwise, bye-bye. That's the end of this one. So I'm going to start with pile number 3. So, I'll put them right now. I'm really trying to start there. Okay, pile number 3. I'm going to give you a close-up of your cards first, and then we'll start your reading. So, pile number 3, you have the 6 of Pentacles reversed. And then you have 5 of Wands reversed. So, pile number 3, what do your pets want to tell you at this moment? Well, I think that they've noticed, sorry, sorry. I started getting mixed up with my words. So, with the 6 of Pentacles, what they want to tell you is that I don't want to say that you've been hoarding things. let me so how can I phrase this funny without, I laugh at it, but if this was an upright, this would be someone that's very giving, and I think you would be very giving with your time, energy, and basically assets to them. Imagine your pets being these people, right? And this would be you in the middle, the guy with the red coat. And finding that balance and scale, right? They're balancing 1, balancing 2, but you're not being like that right now in this moment. You're not being, I feel like maybe you're picking favorites right now. You maybe have a favorite. You may have your reasons. Maybe one's misbehaving. Or one, I feel like you have multiple pets here in this pile too. I didn't say that on every other pile, but if you stuck around, I think one pile, I won't say who, had multiples, and then the other pile, I didn't say that either, but I have a strong feeling that they are probably a singular type of pet, because it was both cards kind of just gave me one. But with this one, I think there's multiple pets. No less than 2, I think, for majority of you. I definitely think that you pick favorites. At this moment, there could be a reason. The reasons why you could pick favorites is because they could be misbehaving, or one could feel left out because you spend more time with them, because one's, again, not all pets have the same personalities, but I think that could be some things, and you might be paying attention to them, and you're also being very stingy with your time, with your things. Like, when I think of assets, I think maybe they're not very happy because maybe you're also controlling their food, possibly, and maybe you've been told that they're overweight and they need to, stay fit, so you kind of have to cut back on those snacks, or cut back on the fatty food. Sometimes, like, example, like wet food can be a little more fattening, because there's oils and stuff, but you can do the same with like, what are those called? The kibble, right? I think it's the uniform word for dogs and cats food, kibble. I just say the little dog or cat most of the time, so I apologize. But I definitely think for this pile, you might have to be cutting back on their snack time and cutting back on that stuff, because pentacle energy, stability, and you could be like, I'm trying not so much to focus on you in that sense, but more so the message they want to tell you, because yes, you could be like a little selfish with your time, energy, and assets, but that could also be, you could have a good reason for that. I don't know that. Yes, things can go, like, it could be related to your personal life or your work life, but when it comes to that interaction of pet and human, I think that you're being a little bit stingy, and you could have your reasons. You're trying to get them healthy. You're like, no, you know what, you need to cut back a few pounds. You need that discipline. You're trying to be disciplined. That could be one way, or two ways actually. And I think that you're kind of trying to not be, maybe like not a pushover. I think that maybe with the Five of Wands, you have multiple pets and they fight over you. Like, I think of this. I think this is you. And yes, this is an example of, if this was upright, this would be a great example of them behaving, right? But I also think that, I'm trying to pick the card up. It's not picking up. There you go. See, this is like a balance card. Sorry. And imagine yourself having like this is you, a representation of you, and this is your pets, but like this is a cropped out picture. But imagine you like this is you with all these like wands, right? But imagine them being their pets. You're being attacked by all these pets. I feel that I honestly feel either you pick favorites at this moment because some of them behave better than others, or you're kind of trying to get them fit, and you're like, no more overweight cats, no more overweight dogs, no more overweight whatever, like turtles, birds, rodents, horses, cattle, sheep, chickens. I mean, I think of you having like, maybe it's a farm that you could possibly have, but I think that you're trying not to overfeed them. Also because you might be a little bit short on cash, but I overthink. Overall, I just get a vibe that you're trying to not be over generous with your time and effort and money and food, and you don't like to be taken advantage of. And you want that discipline. You want to lay down the law. Like, this is the only person that gets to have the last word. And that's it. That's what I get with this pile. I feel like you're trying to teach them discipline about sharing and receiving and knowing when it's okay and when it's not okay. Maybe you're fostering. Maybe you could be fostering, and maybe you foster multiples at a time, or trying to get your fostering animals with your actual pets to get along, and it's a bit of a hurdle, and I understand sometimes it takes a long time to really just to get accustomed to these new dynamics. So you have to teach them, and you have to be disciplined, and I think that's what you're doing. You're being very disciplined with your wealth, your disbursement of treats and food, the attention, and the love. I know there's no cup energy, but it just gives off that vibe where I'm trying to cut back. Also because it's overwhelming for you. That's what I think. I think that you're like such a, I'm not trying to say you're a pushover, but you're really trying not to be. There's so much internal energy, and you're like, enough is enough. So you're going that route of, look, I have to go this way so you guys understand, and that's what I feel with this file. I really hope that's helpful for you. I feel that's what it is. Otherwise, pick a different pile if you were attracted to. There could be a message there for you, or that this might not have resonated with you. There could have been something else for you in there, or multiple piles even at that. So I really hope that helped pile number 3. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It helps me out with my algorithm, and I really try my best to work with these and just get get a funnier sometimes side of the readings, because sometimes they just make me laugh. Especially pet readings. Pet readings make me crack up so much. Animals are so, even if they're nonverbal, they are very verbal with their nonverbal cues. Their social cues are like on point. They just know how to read you and know how to talk to you. So sometimes you just come here for confirmation. So again, I really hope that helps with the message here. And thank you all for listening in. Have a great day, because you made it a great day, not because I told you to, including your pets. They deserve all the love and happiness. But again, sometimes you kind of have to lay down the law when they're misbehaving. And, be disciplined. So thank you all for coming in and listening to my video. So bye, everybody.